So, the aim and objective of studying Ayurveda, the counselor, is that you're supposed to be able to counsel your clients. But before you counsel your clients, you need to have a very efficient way of organizing their the symptoms, organizing their issues, and organizing your own notes. So all this stuff about form that I'm sharing is, I'm giving you a way to organize stuff, and you don't have to follow my way of doing things. I even prepared a ready-made form for you guys, and you don't have to follow it. It's just think of it as like a guideline. We have already, a person comes to you, they have, let's say, 5 symptoms. You should be able to know what subdoshas are affected, what is their Agni. Whether you do it using the form that I'm giving you, or you do it doing your own thing, it doesn't matter. Do you understand? So this is not like you must do it my way. This is just a guideline. So the reason is because we're trying to get you to be more organized. I mean, you have a client. Your client is with you for what, 60 minutes or maybe 90 minutes? And in the beginning, when people start, and I don't want you to wait till you're finished before you start doing your consultations. You need to start doing your consultations now. You're ready for initial consultations because it takes practice. So if you don't do it, there's no practice. So first of all, let's do the annotation. Oops, there you go. It won't allow me to annotate. Okay. You need to get a disclaimer signed because A, we are not a medical doctor, and I don't know how it is in the UK or Canada or whatever. I know how it is here, and also, we are very health restricted. So you definitely want to let them know you're not a doctor. This is an adjunct. If you have any health issues or diseases, please go to your physician. All the information presented that I'm going to give you as a counselor is for information, so only da. You need to have the disclaimer just to protect yourself. When you share your case study, even if it's your sister or wife or husband or partner or mom or dad, please do not put their name on it. Keep it anonymous. Having said that, we have people who have shared their names, but when we are doing the sharing part, we kind of redact it, basically. There's a question there. Okay. Please, put your name. So if you share a case study and your name is not on it, and the students have done that, then we don't know whose case study it is, right? I think the best way to do is, because you need to share 25 client encounters with us if you're going to come to the internship, whether you do it here or you do it next year. Or Satya, maybe you could go to Chennai and do it with Dr. Priyanka, who knows? There's a total of 25 client encounters that we will share with you and 25 client encounters that you will share with us. And this is the first of the client encounter. So instead of sending me 50 different emails and 50 different files, the best way to do it is make a folder, one folder, and put all your encounters, everything to do with client encounters, in that folder, and only share that folder. And I'll show you that in a minute. Because right now, this is what has happened. In the last 10 years of teaching Ayurveda, I've had over 300-400 students. And of course, many of them do the folder, but there are some people who have shared 5 encounters via email, 10 via another email, 5 over Google Drive, 5 sending my post. I can't find them. So it is, and now, so 300 into 50, that's thousands and thousands of files, and I cannot keep track of them. So the only way I'm going to receive and accept your client encounters, and also it's good for you, is, we've kind of started a new system. Right now we've had, 47 students in the last year. So you can imagine almost 50 students and 50 client encounters. Yeah. So that's a huge amount of files for us to take care of. So I'll tell you how to do it. It's best you make a folder, you put all your client encounters in that folder, and just share the folder with us, okay? What is the aim and objective right now? Are you trying to do an actual real client encounter where you can help them? No. The only thing you want to help them right now is balance their Agni. That's it. But you are not trying to balance anything. You mean whether you give chikitsa, that means you have a person who has constipation and headaches. Whether you give them an herb for not is not the point. The aim and objective of the consultation in the first quarter is you should be able to recognize the symptoms and correlate and map it to what Agni is imbalanced and what subdoshas. We, at this point, I do not care about what the protocols are. Of course, nobody ever listens to me. They still write the protocols. And most important, what is the causative factor? Why do we need to know the causative factor or hetu? Because if we don't know the causative factor, how are we going to remove the causative factor or manage it? If somebody is having dryness or thirst or whatever their symptoms because they're drinking coffee all day, if you don't know that is causing it, removing the coffee would help that person, right? So this is first things first. When a person comes to you, they're going to do their dosha test, prakriti and vikriti, exactly like you did for yourself. You've already done it. So when you share that information with us, please do not share the forms. Just say prakriti of my client was whatever ABCD and vikriti of my client was ABCD. Do not share the form, just what the results were. Okay. And this is going to make sense in just a minute. There is a form that we shared with you. I'm going to share with you. Let's share that form so that you know what is happening. I just shared with you. You can open it on your screen too. It's basically an Adobe PDF. Did everybody get this? I shared with everybody. You all got it, right? Yeah. So you can open with it with preview, anything that opens a PDF, and you see this little sign. When you click on it, there's little things that I've written down. So basically, you don't have to use my form. Like I said, it is not like my way or the highway at all. You can create your own thing. And some people are uncomfortable using this. I've made you a ready-made form. So all the information you need for a client encounter is right in front of you. Does it make sense? And this is only 50% of the client encounter. Rest of it, you do it, later. Oh, this one doesn't even have the women support issues. Anyway, so obviously the name of the client is anonymous, but put your name on it. Like you can just put your name and your group number. Instead of batch, you can put your group number. So here, for example, sex is male. You're talking about a male. Ayurvedic age. Do you know what Ayurvedic age is? So 0 to 13 years of age is kapha age, 13 to approximately 40 years of age is pitta, 40 to 45 years is pitta vata, or for some people it's 45 to 50, and 45 onwards is vata pitta, and 50 onwards it's all vata age. Basically starting 40, vata starts becoming a little bit, for men mostly around 45, 50, and women from 40 onwards, it starts becoming active. That is why when that vata is coming, that's when the perimenopause symptoms happen. So this is their age. Let's write that down so you remember. 0 to 13 is kapha age. 13 to approximately 40, or if I just write 45, is vata age. 45 to 50 is kind of vata pitta age, depending. 50 onwards is pretty much vata age. That means vata is the most dominant dosha, meaning you will have a client who is a kapha person to start with, but is showing symptoms of vata depending on their age. So what is the dosha that is, you have a man who is who is very healthy, or who does a lot of exercise, maybe 50 years old, looks 40, then you would still, but still energetically vata is affecting that person. Does that make sense? So it would still be in a vata age. So V3P2K1 meaning a Vata Prakriti. How are we going to find the Vikriti? The Prakriti of this person was after you did the form, whatever, however you did it, you found whatever it is, right? You're going to look at the sub-doshas and the Agni and the sub-doshas are going to tell you what the Vikriti is. So you're not using a form to find out the Vikriti. So you're checking the sub-doshas on the right to determine Vikriti. For example, the client who is supposed to be mostly Vata has Brajak Pitta issues. He has Ranjak Pitta issues. Okay. He has Pachak Pitta issues. He has Sadhak Pitta. 5 of the sub-doshas of Pitta are out of balance. I don't know what just happened there. Oh, okay. I know exactly what happened. Sorry about that. So when you start questioning the client, you found out 5 of his sub-doshas were out of balance. Then you also did the Agni assessment. You can use any form you like. It is totally dependent. You can use a small form, big form, long form. I don't care which form you use. And this is what person had. He had low appetite, 1 stool a day. Oh, okay. The person had a combination of low Agni and high Agni. So both, this is based on the question. This is what you found out. Okay. So low Agni suggests kapha and high Agni suggests pitta issues, but they're kind of coming in combination, high and low, right? And then in the subdoshas of vata, only 3 of them were, only this one is affected, samana. And subdoshas kapha 1, 2, 3, and 4 are affected. So just when you're questioning the client and you find out these are the things that are problematic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 issues with pitta, 1 issue with vata, and 4 issues with kapha, which means this person's vikriti now is vata was highest, V3. No, vata has gone down, right? Pitta has gone up, kapha has gone up. This is all I want to know, basically, that you're able to, you did the Agni assessment, you did the dosha test, and then you found out the Vikriti based on this. This is the aim and object of the client encounter. It's actually easier than it looks. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure that all of you have understood how to do this. There's like something like 32 recordings, video recordings on how to do the case study form. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up actual case study forms done by students. And so I think if it's too confusing for you, you can use this on yourself. You already know your Agni, right? And you already know your subdoshas, issues with subdoshas. And so based on that, you can find out which dosha is high and low. That's all we are trying to find out. I don't care how to balance it, of course, but every time I tell students, oh, you don't need to tell me how to balance it, but nobody listens, they still tell me, but that's okay. Here is, can you see this? Can everybody see this? I'm just going to share this with all of you. This is the case study I'm sharing with you right now. This was done by a student a couple of years ago. So she basically chose a 52-year Hispanic male with type 2 diabetes, and she kind of chose the hardest client possible. Had cataract surgery in both eyes and erectile dysfunction. Had lost 50 pounds in the past 5 years due to improved diet. Last year, diet was unhealthy. And these are just, we are not really expecting you to take such a difficult client. Something simple is better. But she took, so during surgery, blood glucose 345, now 150, 200, taking Janumet, undergoing treatment for allergies with immunologist and followed by. Now, one thing is if you do get a client like that, please do not get scared and freaked out. Remember, you cannot do anything. These are just things that they're dealing with their physician. You just focus on the Agni, okay? So the person is male, Vata age, and the Agni, forget what the issues are. This person has high Agni, right? No Ama, but high Agni. And the cataracts and astigmatism and dry eyes are obviously some Alochak Pitta issuers there, right? And remember, Pachak Pitta is to do with digestion and intestines and, duodenum, breaking down food. And so obviously, because this person has a metabolic disorder, she has put this under Pachak Pitta. Now that would be correct partly, but I would have put it under Ranjak Pitta because liver is kind of talking to pancreas. But anyway, that's kind of above the, it's not in the scope of the first 3 months of the program, but anyway, it should have been Ranjak Pitta, Alochak Pitta, and Pachak Pitta, basically kind of a problem. So there's a Pitta problem, we are finding out. And if you look at Vata, has some respiration issues, low energy, fatigue, inhalation, shallow breathing, blocked respiration, unable to form intimate relationship, periodontal disease, belching. Periodontal disease would be not under Udana. I would probably put it again in Ranjak because it is to do with your Pitta. And of course, a Pitta woman, if it was a woman, you can choose what kind of periods she was getting. So this is probably an extreme case. And the reason I chose it is that I don't want you to choose someone who's so difficult. She did, and she took my help while she was doing it. So I'm not saying that you do your case study and I'm going to leave you out. You actually, we are there to help you out. So email me if you have any questions about your client. Remember, do not put the name of your client in there, please. Okay. So email me if you have any questions, call me, and we will discuss it. And she even gave a protocol. We don't really, that's all we care about, finding out. And so by doing this, dryness in joint, lung congestion, blocked sinus, by doing, basically mapping the symptoms. What did she do? She mapped the symptoms to the sub-doshas of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And by mapping the systems, we found out the Vikriti. That is all we are trying to do. Now, we found out this person's Vikriti, Pitta has gone up and Kapha has gone down. That's what she wrote. In my opinion, Kapha and Vata. So what is happening is the Pitta has gone so high, it has disturbed both Vata and Kapha. And an Ayurvedic language would say that Pitta has kind of is drying out Kapha. And so Pitta is pushing everything. Pitta is disturbing Vata and Kapha, not the other way around. Does it make sense? So that's all we want you to do. Even though this was a hard one. Do you want me to do another one to make sense? Okay, let's do another one. I'm trying to find something which is easy. Here we are. This one's, I think, pretty much better. Kind of right up your alley situation. Let's share this with you as well. This is the one I'm sharing with you right now. So here we have a person. This was done by basically a student of mine who also happened to be a naturopathic physician, which is a very, very good student. So very simple. The symptoms were sinus congestion. So forget the form for a second. Where would you place sinus congestion? What kind of an issue is it? Tell me in the chat. Let me open the chat here. What? Yes, kapha. But we have moved beyond kapha pitta vata. We have now moved to the subdoshas. So look at the form, Shujan. Exactly. Exactly what I'm looking at. When you've so I've given you a form with the symptoms. It's kind of like a cheat sheet what I've given you, right? So look at all the symptoms. You already know this is a kapha issue. Sinuses and cerebrospinal fluid and moisture in the nose, eyes, mouth is tarpa kapha. You know that already by looking at it. So you can, yes, so blocked sinus, sinus headache, sinus congestion. When person has dry nose, then there is low tarpaka. Right now the tarpaka is high because there's too much sinus fluid. When, you know, sometimes people have such a dry nose and dry mouth that sometimes even they have nosebleeds, the nose is so dry, that would be low tarpaka. So that's exactly the aim and objective of this form that I created, is for you to be able to map it out. So it's a cheat sheet. It's very easy. We did not have it. I created it for you, for my students, so that in the beginning, you do not remember the 5 subdoshas on your fingertips like we do, right? So it'll help you kind of, the more you fill this form out, the more you'll be able to map the symptoms to the subdoshas. Okay? Let's look at another symptom. Gas. What would gas be? Both in terms of Agni and both in terms of dosha. What would gas be? A person is gassy or flatulence, let's say. Just the gas. Anybody? Okay, so gas is obviously air, right? So it is a vata dosha and it is vishamagni. A person, obviously with gas, you also have to have constipation and dryness and whatnot, right? So this person has, according to you, now this, she chose Sama Agni, 1 to 2 bowel movements per day. I don't think that's Sama Agni, actually. If this person is really Pitta, then person should have 3 to 4 bowel movements a day, is only doing 1, 2. So it's actually, the Agni is a little bit vitiated in this case. Yes, 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 yes. So Apana issue, Vishama Agni, irregular Agni. You got that. Perfect. I love it. Where would you put PTSD? Look at the subdoshas of Vata. PTSD, would you put it in Prana, Vyana, Samanu, Danu, Panu? Look at the form that I shared with you. PTSD, anxiety, and depression. PTSD, anxiety, depression, where would, let's do this. Where would you put it? Remember, she made some mistakes, we corrected. I'm sharing the one with you where, so the Sama Agni is wrong here, obviously. Look at it. Pran is low energy, lack of clarity, fatigue, feeling tired, lack of reason, enthusiasm, shallow breathing, blocked respiratory, aches and pains, arthritis. Um, Vyana is blood circulation, blood pressures. Let's look at Pitta. Uh, Sadhaka governs emotions such as contentment, memory, intelligence, digestion of thoughts, ideas, clarity. Anybody? Let me look at the chat. Yes, I would definitely say. But look at what is the, so try and go understand what are the, I've even given you the symptoms right there. Contentment is happiness, isn't it? Satisfaction. A person who's depressed and anxious and stressed does not have satisfaction and contentment. So sadhak pitta resides in the heart. Remember? So sadhak pitta is disturbed. When a person is depressed, anxiety, stress, PTSD, all of this would be part of sadhak pitta 1. Second, it would be, yes, part of udana. And one thing she missed out, it would be part of prana and vyana. Prana mostly. Where does vyana start from? Which part of the body? Where is this cardiovascular circulation starting from? From the heart. Heart is the center of all emotion. So vyana. So anxiety would also go under these 3. A person cannot form intimate relationship, has issues with family, social issues, does not like to be touched, you know. It's Vyana, yes, Udana also. Vyana, Udana, and Sadhak Pitta are affected when a person has anxiety and stress. Now, a person may have anxiety, but they have no problem communicating that, then Udana is not affected. It's only Vyana and Sadhak. But when they also have anxiety, depression, a lot of people I have a client, she's suicidal. And one of the things she's doing is she's telling everybody it's because she knows it's a problem. She even tried to commit suicide last year. So we kind of, all of us, her support group, I email her, I'll text her, let her know we are there for her. And communication is key. And of course, if you have a client who's showing such symptoms, you immediately need to inform whatever the social services or their physician or their family, because this is out of your scope. And you don't know what kind of people you'll get, right? So, like I said, I don't know. I get all kind. So you have to have a circle where whatever's not in your scope, or there's a red flag that you know a physician, or an acupuncturist, or a psychologist or something that you could refer people out to as well. But most of the 9 times out of 10 people who are coming to, they already are anxious or depression. They're already on those SSRIs or tricyclics or antidepressants or whatnot. And most of the time, this anxiety, depression, unless they're a kapha person, because kapha will not have a problem sleeping even when they're in fact, they might sleep more. But vata and pitta usually will have sleep and insomnia issues when they're anxious or depressed. Right? So is it making sense where you map things? I don't want to put E2 over the left knee pain. So the knee pain because of aggravated physical activity. Knee pain. Where did she put the knee pain? Oh, yes. Aches and pains would be under prana. Okay. Crave salty food, meaning craving. Vata is the craving is telling me if I was nothing else, a person is craving salty food, meaning that, or even citrusy food, or craving oranges or lemon, that means their vata is out of balance, their vata needs. And vata is out of balance. Gas, anxiety, depression, pains, all of this is vata, right? Vata is out of balance. So the Prakriti went from V2 to V3, Pitta has gone down to P2, Kapha has gone down to K1. The only thing really that was kind of stood out is this is not some Agni. This person's Agni used to be probably more prone to acidity, if this person was pitta, is now irregular or low. So Agni is either, if it is only down to 1, probably it's irregular or low, but she hasn't given any information about that. Yeah. And basically that's it. You find out what the symptoms are and you match them to the subdoshas, and that's the aim and objective of the client encounter. There's something called Prana Tejas Ojas. Dr. Aparna is going to do that with you on Thursday. So I'm not going to do that. I just want to keep on doing a lot of clients with you so you have an idea exactly what's happening. This, here, let me. And being a naturopathic physician, of course, you know, Rose gave some ahara and vihara. Ahara being the diet, plant-based, organic, fresh cooked, tulsi tea, ashwagandha. Just to give you an example, anybody with depression, anxiety, Brahmi, tulsi, ashwagandha are good. Reduce coffee intake. Vihara, do meditation, yoga, walking. But even if you don't write that, we don't really care. But like I said, everybody gives some chikitsa anyway. And this is very important. So remember, we asked you to do the Agni form. Agni form is only telling you what is the Agni, right? And you can use any of the 2 Agni forms that we have shared with you. You have the Prakriti form. So you will do the Prakriti form, Agni form, and you will write the symptoms here. And then you will take the symptoms of your client and map it to the subdoshas, and that's it. Is it making sense? So basically everything we have taught you in the last 3 months, this is an application of everything we have taught you in the last 3 months, basically. Your quizzes, which basically Tridosha's quiz, you've already finished quiz 1, and some of you are already submitting the quizzes. We already finished what's your cycle in women's support forum in class. Shujan, for you, you're going to do this for your wife or somebody else, obviously. And this is all the Agni assessment, daily routine form, Vikriti test, women's support form. Just giving you some forms and this is the same thing I just shared with you, how to fill the case study form. So you're going to share this, and let me show you how to create a, Evelyn, you already do this, so I know you know this one. Let me quickly, so make a folder. How do you make a folder? Click on new, click on folder, call it, let's say, Shujan case studies or whatever. And when you click on create, it is created. So let's say that's created, right? Let's see, Tracy. I'm just trying to see people who have shared their folders with me. Yeah, okay. For example, once you've created a folder and shared your folder with me, anything and everything you put in your folder is automatically shared with me. Oops, sorry, 1 second.